All right, good day, everyone. Thank you for joining today. My name is Dan Laurie. I lead our product management team here at Blackboard for Ally. And today, we have a really wonderful roadmap for all of you as part of TLC focused on Blackboard Ally. So let us jump in. First thing, please be aware that some of the capabilities, the timelines, and the visuals, they're subject to change. We try to do our best to communicate these ahead of time to keep you abreast. And for today's session, we're going to be covering updates for Blackboard Ally for LMS and for web. And Ally for LMS, a lot of the focus here is on course content accessibility from within your learning management system, while Ally for web focuses on accessibility of content on public web pages. And for each of these, we'll include some updates around recently released features, new capabilities that are going to be coming in the next few months, and then work that might stretch a little bit further into the future. So first, we're going to start off with a couple of technical updates related to Ally for LMS. So the first is adding LTI 1.3 integration support for Ally. And if you're not too familiar with LTI, this is the IMS standard that Ally uses to integrate into the LMS or the VLE. So this is going to be in addition to our current LTI 1.1 support that Ally provides today. So what does this actually mean? Well, first, it's important to note that LTI 1.3 doesn't materially impact or change the functionality of Ally. So things like reports, instructor feedback, alternative formats, they all continue to work the same. And for many institutions or universities, the primary driver for upgrading here is that the IMS has announced that they intend to no longer support what they call LTI legacy versions. So that includes LTI 1.1. And the timeline there for depreciation is in June 2022. And while we encourage institutions to upgrade, I want to stress that we're going to continue to fully support our current LTI integration as well as LTI 1.3 to give your institution, ample time and runway to make those changes when it makes the most sense to you. Another item to note is that if you use Moodle or OpenLMS as your LMS of choice, we're going to be working with the OpenLMS team to continue to make improvements here to add support in the future. But today, it's available for Learn, Canvas, D2L Brightspace. Next, if your institution uses Canvas for your LMS, we've introduced support for developer keys. And this is just a different new method of integration that Canvas provides to make, setup a little bit easier, but also give you some more flexibility and granular control to the permissioning that you provide to Ally or other applications. So this is available now, just like LTI 1.3. If you go to help.blackboard.com, we have a lot of documentation giving you all the right steps to make the change to developer keys, also LTI 1.3. All right, next, let's cover some work that's going to be coming later this year. And this is actually one that I'm very, very excited for coming up next. And today Ally does such a tremendous job at scanning course content, providing guidance on how to fix solutions, but there's still some places where we've yet to kind of fully realize the potential of Ally, specifically around WYSIWYG, rich text editor, HTML content. So this is going to be our next big area of focus that's currently in development. And I think this is really going to change the way that institutions, academics, content creators use Ally. This takes the same Ally that everyone knows and loves and improves on it. It turns the way Ally functions from one where you assess the accessibility after you create content into something that aids you during the content creation process. So specifically here, we're going to be introducing an extension to Ally that scores and provides guidance on WYSIWYG content or WYSIWYG tools. So if you have a piece of HTML content, for example, or a discussion board or an item in Blackboard Learn, maybe a page in Canvas, Ally will start to score and then also provide you guidance on how to fix that content. So we already do this for other areas of the course. And, we could just take the same approach Ally has in the past, but, we wanted to challenge ourselves a little bit. We wanted to see if there were different ways in which we could incorporate Ally to make a bigger impact to the workflows a content creator or instructor might have. So we're going to be introducing new features like live scoring, where your content editor or WYSIWYG editor updates live in real time. So as the content creator adds content, you're going to see that live score move up and down and also start to indicate, you can see that on the screenshot here with red kind of outlines where the issues are, right? We've kind of taken the same approach that you might have seen in Microsoft Word, where you see a little squiggly line over a word that might be misspelled. We're also going to be introducing automatic suggestions and batch remediation to make it really quick to fix issues. So for example, if you're using a particular style of text and background color, which may have, contrast problems, Ally is going to intelligently scan all the content on page, group those that are most in common, and then suggest changes, right? For instance, with color contrast, we'll suggest a palette of suggested colors that might meet the minimum contrast guidelines that you need to be accessible. So in 3 clicks, you'll be able to fix issues that have, maybe taken you a little bit longer in time to, 1, understand where they're occurring, 2, determine the appropriate place where the color contrast changes are needed, and then 3, implement them across all occurrences. So this will be coming later this year. And if you're interested in getting a preview of instructor WYSIWYG guidance, we've opened up signups for beta testing inside of our Blackboard Ally user group. And so for this beta, you'll be provided an account on one of our Ally sandbox environments. Well, you'll get access to a course that's preloaded with some content. Can also import your own content to test it out. And from there, you'll be able to provide us feedback or report a bug if you find it, all ahead of the general availability launch later this year. So if you're interested, head to our user group site at usergroup.ally.ac, where you'll find some more details. All right. Next, let's look at some work that's planned for the first part of 2022. So first, we're going to start with audio and video. So this is going to be another area of focus where we're going to be improving support for audio and video. And today, Ally can scan and identify YouTube videos, for example, and check if they have captions. But we want to extend that to other video sources, other tools like Blackboard Collaborate, or if you use third-party streaming tools, we want to incorporate scoring and accessibility as part of our course accessibility reports and also our institutional reports available in Ally. Alongside that, we're going to be adding the ability to provide captions directly for videos that can be requested through the LMS and Ally. We're also looking at ways we can incorporate some of Ally's AI technology to, intelligently scan videos and auto-generate things like a table of contents where you would be able to see the text that we've parsed through the video and then segment that into, clickable tables of content that change and progress or move the video when you click on it. All right, let's talk about some of our longer term highlights. So first, we're planning on improvements to the institutional report that, one, improve just the overall readability of the graph that shows the accessibility score and trend line over time. You can see that on screen right now. And this is where you see that aggregation and scoring breakdown for files and WYSIWYG content over time. And also, we're looking to introduce filtering options. For example, maybe you're only interested in data pertaining to, courses that have students enrolled, or perhaps you want to see courses that fall between a specific accessibility rating. Those are the types of options we're looking to introduce. And this will be another area where we'll be continuously engaging with the Ally community to generate and validate ideas. Next, we also have some updates planned to help grow our set of accessibility checklist items with a particular focus on mobility. So this will include items like orientation, which notes if your device is in landscape or portrait mode, but also the reflowing of content. You might also know this as responsive design, as well as things like text spacing. So this includes, line height, paragraph spacing, letter, and word spacing. And then finally, on our Ally for LMS roadmap, we also have a few other miscellaneous items, including enhancing our CSV exports to include more detail like departmental scores, improving and in some cases automating fixes of items like PDFs that might not have a title or a set language. And when it comes to fixing or remediating content, we're looking at ways that we can suggest improvements to content that can be used in other courses or departments. And then we have a handful of other items, such as additional support for D2L's new learner experience, and also ways to improve the management of courses that are copied over term to term, and how we can better retain information related to things like alternative text in the course content. All right, next, let's talk about Ally for websites. If you're not familiar with Ally for websites, it's a separate solution where we've taken some of the same advanced scanning and machine learning techniques that we use in Ally for LMS, but apply them to public web content to help improve the accessibility of that web content. So let's start off with a few items on our short-term roadmap. So first, improving guidance and feedback. So earlier this year, we introduced a series of feedback and guidance updates for HTML, things like heading structure or broken links. Next, we're going to be adding additional guidance for files, specifically Microsoft Office and LibreOffice. A little bit longer term, we'll also be looking to continue our work on guidance for HTML, where the focus would be improving the guidance related to specific CMS platforms like Drupal or WordPress, giving you more guidance on how to actually fix those accessibility issues in those platforms. And today, Ally for Web supports public websites that don't require authentication to access the content. In the future, we're going to be looking to include content that may reside, behind password protection. So Ally will be able to support a fuller range of public and private content. A few other items to mention for Ally for Web. First, domain scoring. So you'll be able to see the evolution and trend of the accessibility score, not just for your entire website, but also split into different domains or subdomains. And then second is rescan on demand, which gives your institution some more control on content scanning when it occurs, specific domains. So you can see updates that you make on your web page. You'll see them appear on Ally's reporting in a little bit more of a timely fashion. All right, so that concludes our quick roadmap for today, but I'm going to leave you with a few more items. First, I want to mention that we have a free online course through Blackboard Academy that covers equity and inclusion in higher education. And I also want to mention that we have a recently released book of Ally that kind of stitches together all the discoveries, insights that we've made over the years with Ally on our own journey to inclusion. Both of these are available by going to the links noted on screen, tinyurl.com/BD course. And then go.blackboard.com/book of Ally. And finally, if you're new to Ally or accessibility, or maybe you're a little bit further along on your journey, our user group is a great place to engage. And you can find that on usergroup.ally.ac. So that concludes our roadmap session for today. Thank you for joining. I hope you have a really great rest of your day. Bye-bye.